What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's just me again. I'm going to give a little short review on the Axial Yeti. Yes, I have bought myself an Axial Yeti. I had it for maybe 3 weeks or something like that, and I got the kit version. I like to build kits, so that's the version that I got. I did not buy the ready to run. It's too easy. But anyway, I'm just going to give you a little short review of the Axial Yeti kit, give some pointers to some of you out there that might be budget conscious like I am when it comes down to these RC models and stuff. But anyway, as you can see, here's a book for the Axial Yeti kit. Very good detailed instructions, didn't have any problems, but I did have some leftover parts that I am unsure about. So, yeah, but I believe I did everything correctly. But I have a few leftover parts and stuff. But anyway, here we go. This is my version of the Axial Yeti kit. Bam! Oh yeah. I got the ARB thing going on, which is kind of cool. Okay. The tires are not the stock tires. They are the Proline Super Swampers XL 5.8 inch tires. Let me see if I can zoom the camera in a little bit. You can get a little better view on that. Hang on a second. Let me see. Yeah, tires are 5.8 inches tall. They're really awesome, but they're the Super Swampers. I'm using them on the stock Axial Yeti wheels. Okay, first off, they don't fit. Okay, if you call, I called Proline and they say that they will fit. You just have to use a lot of pressure. Blah 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 blah. Baloney. They don't fit. The diameter is actually bigger than the diameter of these bead locks. So right now I just got it on there as far as just so I can get a look of what it's going to look like when I get the actual rims. So actually, like 4 days ago, Proline, 4 or 5 days ago, they released a statement saying that they have actually made some B-lock wheels that will fit these tires, these giant tires, perfectly. Okay, so I have those on pre-order. Didn't want to do it, but I didn't really have a choice because these tires are quite expensive. You know, all tires are like 60 bucks. You know, they're quite expensive. So I ordered the new rims that are coming out from Proline. And just so you know, the wheels that are coming out from Proline, they are actually, they look just like the Titus wheels, except for they have maybe 6 more lug nuts on them, little silver lug nuts or whatever you want to call them. But they look pretty much exactly like the Titus wheels that they were using for the Traxxas Mini Slash. A lot of people were getting those bead locks for the Traxxas Mini Slash. Okay, let me go over what I've done with my Axial Yeti. Okay, I'm kind of different with RC cars. I'm not looking for the fastest RC car or whatever else. I'm about scale. I like to make it look as scale as I can. You know, I'm trying to get into that. I really enjoy that. The more realistic the vehicle looks, the more I like it. So this is Axial's Rock Racer. You guys all know about it. It's extremely well built. I have no complaints as far as the build quality of this. They give you some plates to support the lower links and stuff like that, as opposed to just being plastic, which is really nice. It'd be nice if it were just, you know, aluminum links, but this is cool. It makes them really strong. You get the hardened steel gears, which is a plus. You get the upgraded shocks from the Ready to Run. You get the Icon, I believe it is, shocks, which are really, really nice. You also get the upgraded the steering setup on the kit versus the Ready to Run. The steering post on the kit are actually little metal tubes. So you're going to have a stronger steering setup with bearings. So yeah, that was a very nice upgrade, which they should have done that all along. I mean, people are paying 400 bucks for the Ready to Run. Some things you should just do, you know. Make it right the first time. If we have to pay more money for it, Axial, we'll pay more money if that's what we want. But it just makes more sense instead of wasting all that material, you know, polluting the atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. But it's a waste of material. Just do it right the first time. But anyway, back to the kit. This is my first. I never had a Wraith, an Axial Wraith. I held off on it. And I'm kind of glad I did. I like this much better than the Wraith, personally. I like the independent front suspension, which is really cool. But anyway, this has basically the same Wraith axle from what I hear, which is really cool. Really quite cool. So I'm impressed with it. Very solid. But I did something different with my build. What I did different was I like to drive RC cars with a differential because it's more realistic. So on my Axial Yeti, and I'll show you, I actually have a diff installed. See? You can see that I'm holding one wheel and I'm turning the other wheel. So I actually have a diff installed. I installed the front diff at that time in the rear. And I had another set of diff gears that go on the SCX10, and they actually are the same diff gears that you would use. And actually, it's for the AX10 Scorpion. You know, when that came out, the Scorpion Rock Racer had a front diff. So, but anyway, those diff gears can be used in the SCX10. Like I have a SCX10 that has open diff front and rear. If you look at some of my videos, well, those same diff gears work in the Axial Yeti, which is quite nice. Yeah, they work in this truck here too. So it's very, 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 very cool. So anyway, yeah. So my whole truck is an open diff truck. I don't have any locker on it. As you can see, I'm spinning the wheel, holding one, spinning one, to prove my point. That's how I like to drive the cars. It drives much better that way as far as I'm concerned. I like it much better that way. Okay. What else can I go over with you? Also, let me go over the my paint scheme that I did. I actually stole this paint scheme from somebody else. I forgot the guy's name. I would give him his credit. But he's a really awesome guy. He did a white, black, and red ARB truck. I just cannot remember his name, but he's an awesome guy as far as building cars. He's super good at making them look realistic and extremely scaled. He makes a lot of aluminum parts, handmade parts that he puts on them. But yeah. Anyway, I'm basically copying his paint scheme because on his truck he has the wheels and he has them painted red on the inside. I got that from him, but on the rear of the truck, as you can see, it's open black. That's how he did it. So I was basically just copying him. I thought it was real cool how he had hooked the truck up. So I was very impressed. I was like, I got to do a white truck with ARB stickers on it, and yeah, I did. You know, I didn't put the sticker on there exactly perfect, but it's working out. It's working out pretty good. So that's what where I got my scheme, my paint, my colors from, as far as a white, black, and red with the ARB sticker on. I got it from somebody else. But anyway, what else is really cool? Also, guys, something that I like to do, I like to paint my cars on the, I like to paint my vehicles on the outside. That's something I'm really big about doing when it comes down to Lexan bodies and stuff. If you look at the truck, it's not shiny, it's very flat. And one reason is because it's flat white, and the other reason is because I painted the body on the outside. You know, I scuffed it up a little bit with some steel wool, and yeah, scuffed it up with some steel wool, washed it with some soap, so the paint would adhere better. So this is actually Krylon paint that I used on this truck. Actually, Krylon paint that I used on the outside of the truck. Just painted it flat white. And that's the color. It's actually flat or matte white. And it came out quite well. I'm very impressed with it. Then I got the flat roof. Top of the truck was just flat black. Maybe the light is killing it. Well, then again, I need that. Top of the roof is flat black. So also what I try to do a little different too is, if you can see, the interior tray. I don't know how good you can see it, but let me put it up to the camera. I got it I painted the interior tray on the outside also. I still have yet to do the heads, which I have right here. And I have actually, believe it or not, I actually spray painted these white, you know, so that the paint would adhere to the plastic better. So, good idea to use primer. But anyway, my interior, I've just used some cheap paint I got from Walmart. Like, I don't know, I have it right here. I did have it right here. Well, let me show you. Hang on a second. I got some paints from Walmart. Just some of the cheap paints, like $1. You can get them at Walmart. Non-expensive, you know. Worked fine for, you know, scale model painting or whatever you want to call it. Or painting, you know, the interiors. Because I don't try to, see, it's an off-road truck, so I'm not trying to make it look pretty. I'm not trying to do a perfect paint job. Because it's going to get dirty anyway, you know. How often do you see a shiny desert truck? You know, that's been, you know, running through the desert. You know, it doesn't look very realistic. Most of the time they're going to be dirty. And, yeah. It's going to be dirty and, you know, it doesn't look, I don't like to see be racing a truck like this off-road and it's all shiny. That just bugs me for some reason. But anyway, the last few years, when I get a vehicle, I've been painting them on the outside and I love how they look. Looks more scale, more realistic. Okay. So yeah, I would recommend to you guys that want to make your vehicles look even more realistic, paint the interior. Take your time out and paint the interior. Also, as you can tell, I painted the roll cage. That even adds a different dimension to the truck. And also, even the back, I painted the fuel cage. I'm not done with this fire hydrant. Whatever, not fire hydrant, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I painted the top of the fuel cage, fuel cell, whatever they want to call it, just to add some more definition to the vehicle. And it all, you know, makes it look more scale. So that's what I like to do when it comes down to RC vehicles. Okay, under the hood. And I try not to follow tradition. Now, another thing that's different about this truck that I did was most people, when they get these trucks, they throw a big bad brushless motor in it. Okay? I know how to do that, and I have a big bad brushless motor. But I chose to make this a brushed Yeti. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a brushed 550 size can motor in my Yeti. Right here. Brushed motor. Why? I'm not, excuse my phone. Why? I'm not trying to, or nor do I feel the need to go 30, 40 miles an hour. If this truck can get up to about 20 miles an hour, that's good enough for me. You know, I hear a lot of people talking about bashing the trucks. I'm not one of those guys, bashers by definition. I just drive my truck and I try to drive it to scale. So I'm not, you know, jumping off 5-foot jumps and stuff. And at the same time, I'm not breaking a bunch of parts with my RC. I rarely buy parts because I don't beat my trucks up. You know, they're expensive enough and things do break. They can be broken. So actually, guys that do bash, they're doing people like me that drive to scale, you're doing me a favor. Because what they do is they pretty much try to make these trucks bulletproof. And for me, that's a truck that will be around after I'm dead and gone. So to speak. So, yeah, when people drive them really hard, they build them really good, but these trucks will break. I see guys doing backflips and everything else, that, you know, to each his own. But as for me, I drive to scale. I try to drive the vehicle as if there's somebody inside of it. That's just me. But anyway, that's the motor I'm using. It's actually the X-Speed Monster Evo Kyosha motor. I actually use this motor in my Twin Force. I have a monster truck, older monster truck I had for years, and those were the motors that I used in it, and I had them laying around. So I'm using one of those motors. Now here's what's really cool. This is a Hobby Wing ESC right here. It's called the Quick Run 860. It's an ESC that's just for brushed motors. But what's cool about this ESC is you can run up to 4S on it. 4-cell LiPo. So this 550 motor is a 14.6 volt, I believe it is. It's a 14.6 volt motor, so I'm actually running a 5,000 milliamp LiPo battery on it. And again, I'm a scale driver. I'm not trying to go super fast. I'm trying to drive to scale. So if I get this truck 15, 20 miles an hour, I'm satisfied. You know, I'll be doing a lot of trailing with this. I'm not so much into rock crawling at all. I'm in Florida. There's a lot of sand here, a lot of sand dunes. I'll be doing a lot of trailing with it and just desert type of racing with it. I guess you would say I'm not a basher because I don't believe in beating this stuff up. I just drive it to scale. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I got the Spectrum waterproof receiver right here. Again, the Quick Runner ESC you can get on Hobby Wings, like 34 bucks. And the motor, you can get a motor that will run Pusher Yeti for about 16, 17 bucks. No more than 20 bucks. You can find them on eBay. That would be the Traxxas Titan motor. It's a 550 motor, 14.6 volt or 14.8 volt, whatever. One of the two. But anyway, you can get that motor, and it will do, you know, if you're into scale speeds, it'll be plenty fast for you. Okay, what else do I got going on here? Got a high-tech servo here, which has a lot of torque, like 300 something ounces of torque, which is really nice. Yeah, so I'm very impressed with the quality of this truck. What else did I do? Also, yeah, you can see right there, drive shaft. Didn't need to do it, but I do like MIP stuff. Wasn't really a need. I just like steel. You know, it makes a vehicle feel more of a realistic vehicle. You know, so that's why I did that. Yeah, MIP drive shaft in the rear. So I'm very happy with this truck so far. I've driven it around the house. It seems to be super smooth, the transmission, but again, I can't really take it outside. Let me show you what I'm talking about with these tires. All right, see the rear tire there? See how it's off? I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but yeah, see how it's off the wheel? Right there, I can get my finger up under the tire. Yeah, they don't fit. These 5.8-inch tires do not fit the stock Yeti wheels. So I already have the Yeti wheels on eBay. I'm trying to sell them and you know, get some money back since I'm going to be using these tires. So once I get the wheels in for these tires, the new bead locks, I will be putting these wheels on the if they don't sell, on the Yeti stock wheels and selling them, or either keeping them for this vehicle. More than likely I'll sell them because I really like these tires here. These are, again, the TSL Swampers, extra large 5.8-inch tires. Also, something else I did different with my truck. My truck's gonna be a little heavier probably than most people. I like my trucks weighted. I know some people want them light. They run a little 2.5 volt battery in them. Not me. Not me. I like my truck heavy, heavy metal. I mean, if I could afford to get Vanquish stuff, I'd probably have some aluminum Vanquish wheels on this truck. But they're quite expensive. They're not a need, but they do look good. You know, I can't really afford that right now. So, yeah. Very nice truck. Very impressed with it. Oh, what I was going to tell you that I did different too. I ordered the hardest set of springs for this truck because guys were complaining about these springs being kind of soft in the yard. So I ordered the hardest set of springs for this truck. Along with that, also, I also ordered what else did I order? No, I didn't order anything else with it. I got the hard springs, and I also am using 80 weight oil in my suspension. So again, I'm packing some extra weight with that 5,000 milliamp 4S battery pack. So I don't want it sagging. I want it to be off the ground a bit. So that's what I did different. So basically, all I got to do to be able to drive this boy is get my wheels. They're on pre-order. They haven't come in yet. They're supposed to come in sometime in April. Get my B-locks, get them on there. Get my heads painted for the driver figures. And that's pretty much it, guys. But yeah, it's a real nice truck. I recommend it to anybody. I'm really big into axle stuff. I got a couple SEX10. I got a AX10 Scorpion with a SWX Bender chassis. So yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun. But like I said, for me, it's like a puzzle, you know. I enjoy sitting down, listening to the Bible on audio tape or something like that, and just building RC cars. So I'm not so much addicted to driving them. I'm not even addicted at all, but I do enjoy building them. It's very fun. I can't afford to have a real car out in the garage working on to build, so I take it out on scale models. Alright guys, this has been DJ. Just want to give you a quick review and to give some pointers and let you know that you can get a brushed motor for a motor combo for your Axial Yeti for under 50 bucks, guys. Those of you that are on a tight budget, you can save a lot of money that way. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the review. Later, Gator.